Hello everyone and welcome back to some more StarCraft 2. I am the Dragooner, and this week, yes, believe it or not, I decided to bring you more KSL. Otherwise known as the best series to get, or at least the easiest series for me to get access to the replays for at this point in time. As the current era of, crowdfunded SC2 tournaments is brilliant and a little bit annoying. On the one hand, makes getting access to the replays from some of these tournaments pretty good, pretty freely available. You can get them, which previously had been a bit of a challenge. On the other hand, you have to pay for absolutely every single one of them. I mean, yes, you're paying for the prize money for said tournaments, and the players are, able to afford food and actually play in said tournaments. However, yeah, it's still money, and yeah, believe it or not, YouTube doesn't give you money when you get three views on all of your videos, which is the perfect excuse for why you should like and subscribe to this video so that I do more of them. Yeah, that's all I got. Look, you understand where I'm coming from. And as this is the early game of a PvZ, not much is happening yet. Double Reaper is not something I was prepared for. This could go a couple of ways. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I don't think there was much other choice. That SCV had to go out and build a command center sooner or later. And, well, the Adept is here. There is a second one on its way, so he's not going to be too caught out by this Reaper pressure. And he has in fact confirmed that there are two of them. Oracle will hold up very well against Reapers, both in home defense and in killing them on the front lines. However, it's not impossible that he just sends so many units that they can't all be killed. However, I think that 2 Reapers and a Hellion at a time is, yeah, gonna fall short of that number as, yeah, I believe, yeah, only the one in the base has gone down. The shield battery in the main there has done quite a good job of ensuring nothing happens. In a similar way to the one in the natural has. And, GuMiho, I'm afraid you're going to need a new plan, I think. Okay. That probably is enough to burst through a shield battery. Not without difficulty, and the Oracle will just end that play. That play is just over now. These 2 Hellions got nothing done. So we got about... Oops, sorry about that. Yes. They got 2 probes for the loss of all of those Reapers and Hellions. And on the other side, GuMiho going to the Beyond School of playing Terran and moving out with his tank and his Marines. And I misclicked, I apologize. Fortunately, we're not too far further ahead from this. It will be interesting to see. I want to see if Astrea sees this. So yeah, here's the medevac moving across, and Astrea. Oh yeah, no, he spots it, and at this level, he spotted it. He knows he's got some time to run in. He knows there's gonna be bugger all there to deal with him. Oh. Bit unfortunate that he went for that revelation there. He could have killed so many SCVs. However, now the drop is in his base and he's not got anything ready here to deal with it, and that tank will siege up. And he got about half of his probes out of there. Alright, gets home with his 2 Oracles. Phoenix, yeah, okay, with the 2 Oracles and the Phoenix, that's got to leave now. However, 7 SCVs went down on the other side before getting cleaned up by Oracle, and I'm going to guess a couple of Marines. That seems reasonable. No, not going to let me have a look at that. Okay. Yeah, a couple of Marines went down for that. So, I do believe Astrea, yeah, with 45 probes to 30 SCVs, definitely getting the handle of the early game. However, we swap over to the units tab on the other hand. He has a Phoenix and an Oracle. And yeah. I mean, he did get the tank. He actually he needed that tank. Getting that tank is relevant, actually, because that's actually quite relevant. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's close to enough. The bunker's going down a little bit, probably a little bit far away to do a huge amount. As just the dance between the natural and the third continues. I think Astrea's going to pretty much have to sack this third here. As don't think he's going to be able to cost effectively save that. And GuMiho throwing down the bunkers. Another warp in of Stalkers. Do we have Blink? We have no Blink, and those Stalkers just going to run out into the tanks. Does get one of them, lifts off the other. Kills the two tanks, and I'm guessing he's pulling back now. The Phoenix does get picked off. Gonna try and gets the Viking. But he's just getting pushed through here. Even with the overcharge, he's not managed to get finished off this Liberator. Still about 6 Marines and a Viking underneath. Bunker won't finish. Is this enough Stalkers to... SCVs. Another tank will come up. SCV's putting in a lot of work with this. As this is a full bunker down here. However, GuMiho, he is still building SCVs behind this. Some Stalkers warped in here at the third. Does have Blink now, so he's able to much more effectively deal with the tanks and get a little bit of damage in. Oh, does lose the third base there. That is unfortunate. That was the thing that was going to make it so that once this push ended, he would be hugely ahead. Not going to be the case, however. He is going to be able to clean this up. I suspect he will still have a worker lead. Yes, still a fairly significant 10 worker lead. Or close enough to. Finishes off the bunker. Kills the... and now we'll take off the depots that didn't really do their job of just being a pain for Zealots. Third base will once again go down. Long distance mining begins. Still no third base here for GuMiho. And he is preparing for the siege, and I'm not sure if Astrea's going to give it to him, to be honest. He knows he has his third base. Gonna blink into the main. It's a tank shot immediately. Gets a revelation down. Just got these Stalkers here. If these Marines move... Oh, good work with that Marine. Astrea not able to stop him sniping off the... And yeah, Astrea is going to have to leave. However... GuMiho is stuck in the base. His production is getting revealed constantly. Astrea just keeps on poking in, picking off units here and there. He's got his 4th base building now. And that is a large deal as... Yep, just gets a warp. Scan almost more to force the warp in at home than anything else. As that looked rather like a drop coming in. However, it was not. It was just GuMiho going, is there a base there? Did he actually build that base again? As oh, the Oracle's gonna wander in, somehow managing to avoid dying. And GuMiho can try and sneak these medevacs out. I think he will manage to, unless the Oracles just decide to wander. So these medevacs are gonna be spotted. Early on, so that drop is not going to achieve much. However, that might be enough to deal with that number of Stalkers, to be honest with you. GuMiho will pick off a few units here and there. Zealots coming around now. I do believe they have charge. Yes, charge is completed. Picks off a medevac. Oh, gonna lose some stalkers for that. That's not the most ideal trade in the world. And is forced back now. It's going to fairly either the Oracle. Alright, this is it. GuMiho has decided that this is the number of units he is going to build for this game, and not one more. As, okay, he still has a full base of mining, so he only pulled all the boys from the main. As Astrea jumping on top of some reinforcements there. However, that means he has nothing back at home. This Colossus is not going to finish. And I do believe Astrea is caught out completely. He's going to lose his natural. Twilight Council not doing a huge amount at this point in time. Does recall some Zealots into the main. However, on their own, that's not going to be enough. He needs more than this. SCVs clog up the ramp. They're getting in the way of all of these Zealots. They do eventually go down. There is still a siege tank on the high ground doing a huge amount of work here. As these Zealots getting on top of everything. Oh, does pick off the medevac that had all of the units in it. And that is all she wrote for that one. Game 2 underway now. And, yes. Astrea, nice, well played game 1, I think there. It really was. He held off that, just made GuMiho's build look terrible, really, in that early game. Just the 4 Reapers and Hellion getting about 2 probe kills between them, and looking absolutely silly, followed by just going for a drop with all of his units when the 2 Adepts came into his base. As Astrea doing that thing that every Terran player has dealt with in their lives, and every Terran player has utterly despised. That being the probe that just will not piss off. Regardless, GuMiho handling it with much more aplomb than I ever could. As yes, as I was saying, this was KSL. Loving the series, getting some great games out of it. Can be a little bit tricky to work out the order of the games. Like, I know that this game was from the quarterfinals. That was quite easy to establish. That was quite easy to find. However, finding out what order the games were in was quite a pain, as everybody wanted to watch Scarlet play Classic. And it wasn't on the wiki, and none of the game replays. Chicken Man, Dave Tester, love you guys are great. If you are able to put which game number it is into all that, I think it was week 8 where you did that. That was amazing. Thank you so much. That was so helpful. Especially since I'm trying as much as I can to cover the games that less people have. The less covered games. Not always possible. However, sometimes you just see a 5-game final series between like Maru and Dark, or Maru and Beyond, and you're just like, yeah, like the Maru and Beyond game a week after they played in GSL, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna cast that one. Thank you. Another Reaper opening here from GuMiho. As not a lot happening. That pylon has taken about half its shields and damage. The Adept is very confused as to why the Reaper continued pushing in for as long as he did. And I'm gonna guess it may have something to do with this Marauder. As, believe it or not, Adepts, not renowned for their ability to fight Marauders. Even if Marauders don't deal a huge amount of damage to them, yeah, they're cheaper, and I think they win. So, 2 shield batteries going down. Marauder Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't just stand and fight the probes in that choke point there. That feels like that would have been the better approach. As he's going to get 3 probe kills before going down. That's very much worth the money. Especially with the 2 shield batteries that immediately got cancelled. I think he's got enough units now to prevent any subsequent pressure coming in. However, Cyclone now for GuMiho. And, I mean, we're surely not going to see some TVP mech. Yeah, no, there's 2 barracks. We're not seeing TVP mech. I'd love to see it, and if anyone was going to do it, it's GuMiho. However, I believe that that is on the strategy tier of bad. As Protoss just has too many ways of dealing with it. Although, it's interesting because, like, Terran has a lot of mech units that counter a lot of Protoss things, especially later on. However, just building mech, they just gotta go have some Zealot Archon. Or, you know, Stalker Immortal. It's probably more, bloody hell. Immortal Zealot or something like that. However, occasionally you'll play it against the Protoss and they'll, you know, start storming your Thors or something, and you just laugh your way all the way to the victory column. I am sorry, guys. I'm maybe having a stroke. This is one of my worst speaking days. But GuMiho going for much the same push again this game. However, this time for probably slightly quicker, considering he decided to forego sacrificing multiple... Oh, yeah, no, that wasn't... GuMiho found a nice little corner here for his tanks. Making things very awkward. That bunker was probably poorly conceived. As tanks getting a lot of work done here. As Astrea just making his way. I think that force field... Not quite sure if that did what it wanted to. As Astrea bleeding off Stalkers here. He's lost most of his army. Did get most of GuMiho's in return. There are no medevacs with this army at the moment. So those Marines, every stem is valuable. And damage on the Cyclone as well can't really be repaired either. Tank being forced to siege up is just going to slow down this push. And as a matter of fact, Astrea is not sure entirely if he is hunting for reinforcements, which he is going to find. Possibly not the way he intended, as he... Oh no, he gets two Marauders, and I'm not sure that's the best recall in the... Yeah, he recalled out a Stalker. I think he may have been better served by not doing that. As he did do his job. He did manage to force GuMiho back. He didn't scout out the third. But I think that just judging by the amount that there was at home, probably a good idea that there has been another base taken. Widow Mines proving to be the order of the day for GuMiho. As he's getting his Zealot Marine count up. Got a couple of tanks. Decides that's going to be enough. Zealots just sitting up here waiting for a run-by opportunity. We got fourth base now going down for Astrea. He is getting that economic lead, however, it's an army that's looking a little bit fragile. 1 Colossus, 10 Zealots, yeah. One of those things where it just feels like it probably shouldn't be splitting things off, but maybe it's correct? I don't know. 2 Zealots making the way in. Just kills an SCV and leaves. Unable to push GuMiho back on this occasion. The mines will begin setting up. Is there an armory back at home? I do not see an armory. So, not the biggest deal in the world. That just means that there will be no drilling clause as, oof. I really hope that wasn't Astrea F2ing his army home, because he needed to cause some backstab damage here. He's going to get a little bit done, but 2 zealots. Yeah, you're going to want more than 3 SCVs for 2 zealots, especially. Oh, the distraction force of the south has done its job. GuMiho is going to push into the top side. There is going to be a... It's going to recall. And shield battery overcharge. Will stop the push on that base. For now. And I think the "for now" is the key part of that statement. On the other side, GuMiho. Just stretching around into position. There is going to be a warp prism flying into the main, and there is currently nothing to deal with that. The Widow Mine. It's just, oh no. Picking up a good number of units around. This 5th base is not going to go down. The warp into the main gets completely shut down. I think before it managed to do anything. He can try and force his way into the 3rd base here. Ghost's getting some good EMPs down. And I think Astrea just does not have enough. And that's without the force coming back from behind. Zealot's getting on top of a lot of GuMiho's Marines. However, there are simply not enough of them, and we move on to Game 3. We begin Game 3 now of what's been a fairly intense series here. Even if GuMiho has gone for the exact same build about 3 times. Well, 2 times in the 2 games. Okay, to be fair, calling it the exact same build isn't fair, but however, he's gone for a very, very similar timing attack. After some... Yeah, the harass in the second game was better. I don't think it did quite as much as he wanted it to. But it definitely did, excuse me, did more than Astrea was prepared for. As lots of gas this game. And not an iota of scouting out of GuMiho. Fortunately for him, Astrea just wants to get his expansion down. He will get that cyber core, however, it's really the expansion that he's looking for. As he will walk his probe in, and very unusually will not harass the SCV. I'm confused. Astrea remembers that he is in fact playing Protoss and will return to trying to murder an SCV. It does seem to be their favourite hobby. And we'll manage to finish that depot. Never mind. As... Really, Astrea? Was that necessary? He apparently felt it was, as he is now... Oops. That's what I meant to. The Reaper is making its way across the map now. And will he attack the pylon at the front again? Yes. But only for a shorter period of time. As... Shooks out the Adept there. Kind of. In order to head into the main. Well, that was an interesting animation. I hope I wasn't the only one who saw that. As this Reaper will go down. Not really getting its job done. As, oh god, he finished the pylon. Well, that's just annoying. I had kind of expected that to get cancelled. Which... You didn't see the starport. I actually didn't even really have the factory in it, did it? Have a look. I saw the tech lab. But tech lab on what is almost certainly a factory is... Yeah, I can't exactly call that game-changing information to have. Not like it's seeing a starport going onto the tech lab. Although, to be fair, that's probably just building a Raven, so it's not too important. No, it is Banshees. Never mind. Banshees is definitely on the list of things that you would like to know. It's not essential. But just means that you can get things... Like, yeah, it does have the pylon here ready to put down a battery somewhere about there. Putting down the Robo Bay, which does not help against Banshees. However, Banshees unlikely to be game-changing or game-ending damage, unless Astrea just decides not to build Stalkers. Which, funny as it would be, I can't actually see happening. There will be a round or two of Stalkers coming up in just a moment, I do believe. Does have the Immortal on the front. He is getting Cloak. So the Observer coming out, excuse me, will be quite invaluable. However, Colossus on its way now. That I assume, oops, excuse me, is just the one Observer. GuMiho just building up the front door. Now, will he, and how much will he see with this Phoenix? Oh, okay. As we learned that Astrea is the actual worst by using the Diva voice back. Observer, just gonna head out here to chill with this Banshee. Just to make sure it doesn't get up to anything funny. However, GuMiho is going to take advantage of the fact that he has to park some Stalkers right at the back of his base now. Banshee will just wander... Oh, does get the second Observer. So, not quite as important. However, Astrea's going to have a hard time defending his Cybercore here, and it warps in a couple more Stalkers. But without that Cybercore, without that gateway, his Banshees become considerably more difficult to deal with. So again, not game-ending as... this could be bad. The... Whoop. Hallucinated does manage to force... Oh god, words. Banshees just causing havoc. 13 probes have gone down. There is still a Banshee in the back. Does have a Cybercore now, but an unpowered Robo is not going to help things. The Raven now is going to make it a bit tricky. Was that Robo in range? Oh, that Robo is in range of the low ground. And with this Raven here, Cloak Banshee, I don't see that Colossus finishing from there, even with a Chrono Boost. Which means that he will be moving in. The Hallucinated Archon doing a lot of work, actually. As he will, I think, clean this up. Does, however, lose the Colossus. Loses the Sentries. Oh, God. Loses... Raven goes down. Banshees went... All of that, everything died there. But that done a lot of damage. And meanwhile, behind this... I mean, GuMiho's just straight up ready to go again. I would prefer to see a couple of medevacs with this. I feel like there was a miss in some production somewhere. The engineering bay is going to block the third. That's annoying. It's going to make Astrea's attempt to recover from this very difficult. We will be moving in Stalkers here, however, they don't have Blink, and there's no third base here for them to kill yet. Meanwhile, GuMiho's much larger armies in the middle of the map. 1 or 2 rounds of reinforcements is going to be able to clean all this up. Like, that's not enough. Really do a lot. In the meantime, GuMiho is in the natural. And having Marines in the natural is not a good thing. It's definitely one of those things you're meant to talk to your doctor about. The recall comes in. Which does help. These Zealots, no charge unfortunately. Probably wanted to head for the tanks, however, it doesn't matter. 18 probes died. And GuMiho cleans up this series. 2-1. Moved on to, I believe it was the semi-finals. I might be a round ahead on what exactly it was. But either way, thank you all for watching this fun couple of games, I think it's fair to say. Protossers might disagree with me, but, well, they're not people, are they? Anyway, if you have enjoyed it, please subscribe. Please like this video. Tell someone who plays StarCraft or is looking forward to Stormgate, this is what top level RTS looks like. I don't know. And I hope to see you all again. Thank you.